Hey friends, it's been a while since we've talked. My apology on the video quality, etc., etc. Normally I'd like to record outside when I'm walking, get some fresh air. But today I'm going to be using some references on my computer I want to be able to talk to you about. So that's why we're doing this differently. And I think it's after 5 o'clock, so it's beverage time. I may have mentioned to you before that I started my electric journey with a 2013 Chevrolet Volt. And I traded my 2013 Chevrolet Volt for a 2017 Chevrolet Bolt EV. And I have about coming up on 90,000 miles in my Bolt EV. Rock solid car. Have absolutely no problems with it. I've changed tires, put washer fluid in it, changed the cabin air filter a couple times, and plug it up when it needs juice. It's pretty reliable. No oil filters, spark plugs, air filters, all that crap. So yeah. So between my 2013 Volt, my 2017 Bolt EV, and my wife's 2018 Volt, I have over 100,000 miles of electric vehicle experience. For what that's worth. But I'm not really here to talk about Chevrolet products, and they're doing great work. I'm here to talk about Aptera. We love Aptera. A little bit more about me. I've done some startups. I've raised angel capital. I know about capitalization tables. I have an MBA, and I analyze financial statements every day of the week. That's my bread and butter. Life is good. So yeah, I have some pedigree and some experience to talk about electric vehicles. This cap was a gift to me from Chevrolet. Um, Part of their campaign to convert people into driving electric early on. This is given to me in 2013, around there. And this Aptera cap was given to me not long ago after I became an investor in Aptera, and a person who has an all-wheel drive, 400-mile range vehicle on order. So, like I said, I'm here to talk to you about financial stuff today. And like I said, I've raised angel capital and know what capitalization tables look like. I analyze entities every day of the week. Look at all that good financial stuff. So let's talk about Aptera financials today. You ready? Let's go. And I'm going to take the hat off. I normally wear it, but it's not doing my face good today, so I'm going to go ahead and take that cap off for now. Sarah, thank you for the cat. Okay, today I'd like to talk to you, and many of you have been talking about how do I invest, and pardon me, I'm looking at different screens here, so my apology here. How do I invest in Aptera? What's going on there? Well, I want to share a little bit with you, some information today. I found a link to Aptera's offering circular on the Securities and Exchange website. Yeah, it's out there. And Aptera intends to, quote, take advantage of the provisions that relate to the Emergency Growth Companies Act under the Jobs Act of 2017. So there's provisions of law that allow emergent companies to raise capital in the public subject to certain provisions. In the public domain subject to certain provisions. I'm not an attorney, don't want to get in trouble, stuff like that. If you're interested, you can go to the SEC and pull the offering circular yourself. All the disclosures and caveats are in there. But what do I think is interesting in the offering circular? Well, Aptera plans to raise up to $50 million, and the share price will be $3.80, up to $3.80. My guess is they'll offer it somewhere around there. They're going to be Class B common shares. And they're going to be using proceeds primarily for a vehicle development, pre-production effort, that kind of thing. So that's what's going on there. It's going to be $3.80 a share, up to $50 million. These are going to be Class B common shares. And they're going to be doing this raise under the Emergent Growth Companies provision of the 2017 Jobs Act, which is pretty cool. Allows emerging companies to raise funds in a quasi-public fashion, subject to certain limitations. The offering circular has your standard kind of sections: risk factors, dilution, plan, and description of selling securities, use of proceeds, company's business, the company's property, management discussion and analysis. That's the MD&A for folks that are used to reading these things. Talks about the executive officers, directors, compensation, security ownership of management and certain security holders, interest of management and others in certain transactions, securities being offered, and so forth and so on. Securities being offered, like I said, they're going to be, they're authorized up to 75 million shares of Class A common. It's Class A common. And 115 million shares of Class B common, although they may not be issuing all those at this time. The shares being offered, the Class B common, are non-voting shares. So I didn't do a lot of scripting for this. Let's see here, beneficial share owners. I'm not too interested in that. Let's see, Chris Anthony, Steve Fambro, and another corporate entity are the major shareholders, and all the executive officers and directors as a group are going to end up having 57% ownership of the company, which we want. We want our founders to have a controlling interest, so they're incentivized to perform for us as shareholders. So that's a nice little table. I'm just kind of leafing through this. Like I said, I didn't do a lot of scripting for this. There's pictures of the car in here and some specifications. And remember, and some folks don't use this term much, but what we call the Aptera officially is the Aptera Roadster, which is actually a pretty cool title. So it gives some specifications for the Roadster. Nothing more than has already been released, so there's no news about the vehicle in that regards. And I'd rather be talking about the vehicle. But this capital raise is important because that's how we get our vehicle built. And I'm speaking as a shareholder. I invested in the WeFunder, so I have some of those shares as well. So yeah, we want those founders to be well incentivized to perform for us. They may not, the way this offering is structured currently, and there could be revisions to this. They may issue $11 million worth of shares, $22 million worth of shares, $34.5 million of shares, or $46.25 million of shares. And that's net, because the advisor / investment banker, there's a fee involved there, which is of course expected. But my point here, in kind of reading off those numbers on this table, is the company may decide to issue all these shares at once, or to have closings at various stages. And I guess if I were on the board of directors, and I do have extra time to serve on a board, I would probably issue some fraction of the authorized shares, take those proceeds, manage them prudently, excuse me, during the development and rollout process, and issue additional if I need them. So that could certainly well be a strategy of Aptera. And that's why this table in here of use of proceeds to the issuers in the offering circular, because they may issue 25% of the total, 50% of the total, 75% of the total, or 100% of the total. Like I said, I would not advise Aptera to raise, the full 100% from the get-go. I'd probably suggest raise some smaller amount, be prudent with the use of funds, and then issue more shares as that need presents itself. And again, I'm just kind of leafing through the offering circular here. Yeah, we're looking at $3.80 per share. There's some offering cost, of course. So let's see what else pops out in here. This is an interesting note. For those interested in investing in the next round, and again, this offering circular may be updated. The minimum investment amount is slated to be $1,000. So at a share price of $3.80, minimum investment amount of $1,000, they're going to use the proceeds for research, development, manufacturing, working capital, and general corporate purposes, so they can get the job done for us. And they're doing fabulous work. I know right now, Soul is probably being outfitted. It's been delivered into San Diego. So we're going to see how Soul gets revealed here before too long. I remember being on a ambassador call a while ago, and Sarah was talking about we want to have Soul has some different energy about Soul, pun not intended. Maybe puns intended. So maybe Soul is going to have a different interior color scheme. I think it is. It's going to have the I forget, but it's going to have a different color scheme. Don't quote me, but I think Soul is going to have the full solar treatment, which would cover the what would otherwise be the rear window. Again, don't quote me on that, but that would certainly be appropriate to understand how that additional weight and integration works for the development vehicle. Yeah, so after the offering, we can expect around 52.6 million of Class A shares being issued and 13 2 million shares of Class B common. And it is the Class B common, the 13.2 million Class B common that's being issued under this offering circular. So that's kind of the high level information I want to share with you here. Normally I go back when I do the financial analysis that I do on a daily basis. I look at all the historical data and look at ratios and liquidity, leverage, debt service, all those good things. But because Aptera is essentially still a startup, that information is just not relevant. Oh, here's the, speaking of which, here's the financial statements. I love financial statements. These are unaudited, and I do believe the Jobs Act of 2017 does provide for unaudited financial statements. Again, this is provisions of security law that was created to allow emergent companies to gain the capital that they need to grow, build an asset base, and to initiate sales. I do love financial statements, so you'll pardon me as I just quick go through this. Yeah, this is good. There's like zero current liabilities, which is good, and that'll change as the company grows. The financial statements will become more sophisticated. What I'm interested in is be fun to put a capitalization table together for this company, but I'm sure the financial advisors have already done that. And the capitalization table is, you have typically for venture capital company, you have an A round, a B round, a C round, a D round, and maybe another round or two, a mezzanine round. and then you go public. That's a typical scenario. What I'm interested in here is the safe securities. That's the simple agreement for future equity. On the balance sheet, it shows June 30th, 2020, about $518,000 of liability. And those were the agreements that were sold under the WeFunder. Yeah. No revenues, we know that. But we also know we have a huge amount of pre-orders. And let's just talk about pre-orders for a minute. Even if there's just a fraction of these pre-orders that manifest into real orders, this company is up and running and rock and rolling. So, yeah, the absolute value of the pre-orders in my mind is almost irrelevant at this time. It's just a good indicator of the interest in this astonishingly efficient vehicle, and it's all about efficiency, people. Yeah. So yeah, we have the pre-orders have been just outstanding. Let's see, statement of equity, cash flows. Again, nothing too interesting here. There's some. Let me look at the cash flows. Cash flows. In June 2019, the company had. Oh, geez, I hope I didn't miss it. Here we go. Statement of cash flows. And I think I just toggled too quickly. Oh, there we go. In 2019, the company had about an ending period of about $20,000 in cash, and then after the WeFunder, it's a little over $1 million. So I suspect that we should see these shares being offered soon. In the last few months, Aptera has been doing some great work, development work. They rent the new facilities down in San Diego. We have Soul that's being, I suspect, outfitted right now in San Diego with running gear and interior and electronics. Oh yeah, my first degree is electrical engineering and second degree is an MBA, finance, entrepreneurship. So yeah, but again, I'm not really too excited about the financial statements at this point. It's a startup. I mean, that's what startups do. So yeah, just looking at the ending cash, June 30, 2020. Yeah, we should be seeing this these new shares offered soon. So that's really, I've kind of rambled on a lot, but I hope I've kind of wet your whistle just a little bit. I know there's been a lot of folks asking about can we invest in Aptera? And as officers of the company, there are limited things that the officers can say or a board member can say without incurring a legal liability. I'm just a shareholder. I'm just an interested investor. So I don't have that legal liability. So I can share with you what's published on the Securities Exchange Commission website in this offering circular. So in short, Aptera intends to raise a maximum of roughly 13.2 million shares of Class B common, priced at $3.80 per share, with a minimum investment amount of $1,000. And what that results in, if I can table through this, is after and underwriting fees and legal fees and blah, 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 up to 46 point roughly $3 million, $46.3 million, if this offering is 100% sold to Aptera, so they can complete the development, have some working capital, and which will allow them to get to production. So that's pretty much it for today. This is a different kind of video. Normally, I like to talk about the vehicle, right? That's way more exciting. I want to get my butt into a seat, as most of us do. I want to see the low energy as I cruise down the freeway at some unspecified speed, because I know what my Bolt EV consumes. I think you get around 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour or something like that. So I can't wait to see the efficiency numbers for Aptera. It's all about efficiency. I'm excited to drive an all-wheel drive vehicle again. I've had Volkswagen all-wheel drive vehicles. I've had Audi all-wheel drive vehicles. And I'm really looking forward to the all-wheel drive Aptera. So that's pretty much it for today, folks. I could answer questions maybe about this offering circular. If it's anything like an IPO, there's a quiet period with an IPO that the company can't talk to certain things. Now, this is not a standard IPO. It's a carve out in the 2017 Jobs Act for emerging growth companies. But I suspect that the executives, Chris and Steve in particular, are kind of constrained by what they can say for legal reasons. I'm not. So with that, I'd like to wish you quiet, powerful, and efficient driving, and moving our planet forward in a harmonious and sustainable way. And through our purchases and through our investments and our enjoyment of the Aptera Roadster, we're going to be able to reduce our footprint, and in my case, pass on a plug-in vehicle to a new owner as I drive something more efficient. So there's some information for you about Aptera's plans for the next investment rounds. Do take care. We'll see you again before too long, and just charge on and be awesome.